Good
Welcome
morning,
back.
nerdy. Welcome
Feinberg,
back.
long time no see in this
Yeah,
on this stream.
it's okay.
Fortunately, commiserations to you, but
It's
that was
okay.
for what it's worth, that was a very exciting match.
No, it was good. It was honestly, it was a good match. Manji's just a better player. He's got more knowledge and ranked more matches. A lot of little micro that he knows that I don't that got him the win. So he took a dub. I got to sleep in a little bit today. I woke up and I woke up. It was so weird. I woke up. I was on my phone. Someone was talking about like the content segment was so good. I pull up my phone. I'm live. Like what? So
Yeah.
weird. Like
Yeah,
trying to
that would
look
be
up
weird.
my own stream on Twitch Mobile. It's hard. It's hard. They don't really like. It's not really a use case. Hard for you to find it. You're not in the followers list. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. I don't know. But no, it's good. Nerdy, you got to sleep in as well too. We're back for games 3 and 4, and if it's anything like these first two games, I mean, I don't know how I'm watching my game, but from what I heard, and I mean, just two game fives, like it's gonna be some beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and I mean this match is very exciting. I think that it's a little bit of an underdog story here. I mean, we have
You think so?
arguably
Yeah.
the tournament favorite here upcoming next against a player who's never been in the playoffs. And, I think that leads to a very exciting match. Like, no matter what, I mean, we're either going to see some super fast gameplay from Doog, or we're going to see some super fast gameplay from Erik, and maybe even be able to get a bit of an upset here.
Yeah, and let's throw to the bracket actually just to talk about this story a little bit more. Dougal is, if you all don't know, if you all don't remember, the 1 seed. As we'll throw it over to the bracket. There we go. Beautiful. Dougal is the 1 seed, had the most phase points out of all 12 players that all auto qualified. And I mean, out of all players that ever played ranked, Dougal had the most. Loki was second, and they were very close. Let me see um, on the leaderboard here. Doog had 260, Loki had 250, and then Hax was in third, our 3 seed, with 195. So that's a significant point gap that these two players have over the rest of the field in general. Even just the 3 and 4 seed, big gap. Consistently doing well in midseason showdown and in all 4 phases. And then you see Erik, right, coming all the way from round 1, Automat, Ral, now Dougal. It's gonna be close.
It'll be close.
Erik
But
played really well last week, but it's a full week, right? Can you keep the momentum going from that week? And can Doog, start? This is his day 1 of playoffs. Can he start off on the right foot?
I do believe we have a content segment now here.
Oh,
Oh
lovely,
yeah, an interview edited by Bendo. So let's go check that out.
lovely. Throw it over to the interview. Dougal interview, beautiful. We'll see you guys back in a bit.
Hi, my name is Doogile, and I've been speedrunning Minecraft for 3 years now. I've been playing Minecraft for around 10 years. When I first started playing, I was really into Redstone. I was a huge Mumbo Jumbo fan. I didn't start playing competitively until around 2019 when I started playing Bed Wars. Some of you might also know me from my bridging videos. I used to be the fastest bridger in the world. I don't really bridge much anymore, but I would still put myself at like top 5 in the world. The thing that first got me into MCSR was something that I could see myself being good at. As for my inspiration, I used to watch a lot of Magnetic, and these days, Loki is my main source of inspiration. I think all my previous experience with running and developing strats in both speedrunning and bridging has given me a deep understanding of the game along with good mechanics. Those two qualities make me one of the best ranked players. I decided I would keep things simple and I would just pick the lowest seed, and that was Erik. The two people I'm most scared of are Feinberg and Loki. Feinberg has so much tourney experience, and Loki, because he's been doing really well in ranked lately, in my opinion, he's the best player right now. I actually still remember quite a lot from my Redstone era. I know I can build a 3x3 piston door from memory. Maybe I could do a 4x4.
He's not lying about that, by the way. It's a little known fact, and now it's a well known fact. But Duke's built a 3x3 piston door in call before. I remember
Yeah.
it happening. He's just done it, and it's just like a little bit of insider lore that just,
There
I mean, well rounded. I don't know.
they're very fun to try and figure out, like a little puzzle. But yeah,
I
I
couldn't do
will
it.
say,
I deadass, I don't know if I could do a 2x2. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
no,
first try.
you could
Dude,
do a
a,
2x2.
a
You could
grand
do
for
it.
first try 2x2 where it's like a button and then it opens it and then closes it. I couldn't do it. There's just no way. Like, I would not put a grand on it. First try, like $1,000 bet, I wouldn't do more than like $10 for it. I just wouldn't do it. There's no way. Like, I would mess something up, dude. I would mess something up. Like, I know it's just supposed to be 4 pistons and then like you put repeaters into the top piston, but like, dude, I feel like I'm not confident is what I mean. Like,
Okay,
I
okay.
know what it's supposed to look like, but I'm just not confident.
Okay,
I
fair.
don't know.
Fair enough. That's all right.
And this guy can do a 3x3 with a little block in the middle.
Yeah, the little block in the middle of Feinberg.
Yeah.
That does make it harder. I will say. I will give you that. That does make it a lot harder.
Yeah. What's
But
the biggest
regardless,
like good door? Do you know? Like 5x5 or 6x6 or something?
that's like that's
Is
possible.
it? Yeah, like
Or what do you
I
mean?
guess you could probably do like a huge door. Well, like isn't the challenge is like you make them small, right? Like the 3x3 door that takes up like the smallest space, right? Because you could probably do like a 5x5 if you like made it huge with all the redstone, but that's like ugly, right?
I don't know. I feel like it's just like I don't know.
Like
I feel
what's
like
the limit?
it's just entirely about like what exactly you want.
I don't know. Someone in chat said 12x12. We're gonna trust them. A second person said 12x12 too. We're gonna trust them also. So that's good. It's okay. But
Oh
let's throw it
man, they
into.
got me.
Why is it funny? It's not funny. Let's throw it into the player cards. It's not funny. 1001 average. Was this the best average today? Did Hax or Monte have a better average on their card? Anyone remember? I don't think so. I think Doog had the best average last season. So I think
I
this is
believe
the
that
number one
I believe
average.
that's correct. I believe that's correct. But I will
0-2
say,
against Erik. 0-2
yeah,
against
and
Erik.
he mentioned earlier one of the scariest opponents being Loki to him, and Loki this season I believe actually has a sub 10 average. So
He mentioned
absolutely
Feinberg
insane
was the
stuff.
scary opponent too. Don't
That is true. That is
you
true.
gotta say both of them. And I mean,
I
lucky
mean,
for Doog, he's gonna be facing Manji tomorrow if he wins. So got a little bit of a bailout there. Not intentional, by the way. I did try my best.
congratulations.
But he gets a
You did
little
good. You
save.
did good, Feinberg. It's okay.
Thanks.
But
dude.
anyways, here you can see here 72% win rate is insane. I also want to mention that he has an 82% win rate. I believe yesterday he went on a crazy rampage, gaining 257 elo in one day. I mean, that's just absurd to me.
Well, he just like he placed. Like he didn't even gain 250. Like he did his placements. Like so I guess he gained, I guess you could say he actually gained 301 from where he initially placed. He placed 1655 and then played for 8 hours and ended at 1950, which is currently fourth.
Oh wow, yeah. So there might have
But
been
like
even
he
more.
didn't
Since I,
even
like,
play
checked.
ranked at
Yes.
all till yesterday. It's his one day of warm up. He went 31-5 with an
That is crazy.
86% win rate yesterday. Lost to 5 people. Oxy 3 times, Hinart once, and then he lost to Feinberg once. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Anyways, it's not about me. It's about Erik. Let's throw it over to this player card and see what the stats show. Full minute slower average, but again, Nerdy, like you said, this is all last season stats. You see if I can find Erik's name on the leaderboard. Currently in 53rd. Not the best look, and I think the API for this
I want
website
to
is
point
slow.
something out here, Feinberg, that I think we missed.
Yeah? What did we miss?
Take a look at the win-loss for what it's worth. For what it's worth.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
it's low sample size, but yeah.
2-0, it is.
I mean, listen.
Have we seen it matter in the matches so far? Like, I do wonder, out of like the 10 games that have been played, like, has the person with the higher win-loss won most of the time? Or I guess there's a difference too between like 10-9 and like 19-0, right? Like it's not as really black and white as you might think. But I mean, you're only playing
a lot of people
seeds.
are seeing this. A lot of people are seeing this as a black and white Doogile will win, but this is just, I think, showing that it's possible that this could go another direction.
No, it is very possible. And I mean, looking at just the current season stats, Erik's got a 10.02 average, and Doog yesterday also had a 10.02 average throughout the whole day. So just on current season stats, completely even. But they didn't queue up yesterday, considering that was the only day Doog has played in the season so far. But I don't know, Nerdy. I mean, Erik played so well last week. Doog's played so well in playoffs just as a whole. He's our current reigning champion of playoffs. Won the last season. That's definitely not something that we can discount either. But I mean, look at the win percentage.
I mean,
man.
yeah,
Like,
I'm just gonna be honest. These stats are disgusting. I mean, it's 948 for both BT and Ruined Portal having a sub 10 average. Like, I mean, close to an 80% win rate on villages. I mean, who knows what the sample sizes are, but the point that is made is the lowest win percentage here for Doogile is 69% on shipwrecks. Okay, that's the lowest. All right,
yeah.
and then at the highest we have 79%. So even if this is low sample size, this is still ridiculous. But I mean, Erik, to be fair, right? Like looking at these stats here for Erik, these aren't bad necessarily. There's something bad here. I mean, very positive win rates throughout. BT's maybe a bit low, but I mean, again, we don't know exactly what the sample sizes are here. So I think the point is we've got some very exciting Minecraft, and I don't know about you, Fiber, but I'm ready to see the seed bans here.
Yeah, let's see what Erik decided to ban, what we're going to be playing here. It's an overworld ban entirely almost. Wow. Temple and Village, both these runners wanting to stick to the ocean. Maybe we'll see some magma ravine incidents in the first 3 seeds today. Very interesting when both runners ban sort of the same type of seed, you know? Ruin Portal's kind of the odd one out, I would say. But when you see like a Temple Village combo ban or a BT Shipwreck combo ban, you know, sort of shows that both the runners may be a little bit on the same page, going to both be potentially comfortable on these overworlds.
I like it. I like it a lot, Feinberg. Personally, this is, I think those are the slow ones. I know you're a village variance enjoyer, but let's be real. The Desert Temple and the Village, those are the slow seeds. I want to see the fast seeds. I'm excited to see this BT first seed.
I mean, I'm excited to see fast seeds as well. Maybe we'll potentially have a chance to live up to the 635 from earlier today by hacks. But these, I mean, nerdy, like you said, these are the seed types that you'd want to do it for, if anything.
Absolutely. As we get in here now, checking forward, the buried treasure looks like, I mean, both runners on, not hesitating too much, finding it within a second or so of one another here. Solid 7 salmon there for Duke. I mean that is just,
it's almost perfect food. Yeah, it's almost fully perfect. We're gonna have iron for shears as well, and both runners too very confident as well. Like the first step in the BT process is finding the chunk, but a very underrated step as well is actually finding 9-9 in the chunk itself, right? Like you still have to dig on the correct block, and neither runner there showing any signs of hesitancy at all. Absolutely. They came here to play, nerdy.
And getting the shears here, getting just some basic blocks, of course. Very similar choices being made from both runners here. I'm not seeing too much difference whatsoever. Maybe I'm seeing a different type of wood, but that's about it. Meanwhile,
I mean, Erik's out much faster though, and finds the ravine, just went the right way first. Duke's going to go this way as well, but he's on the ocean 10, 12 seconds slower. That's just going to translate to raw time loss entering the nether.
Absolutely, and as you can see here, there is a monument, but that cannot affect you in ranked, so definitely playing this a little bit differently than you may in RSG. You don't need to worry about the
not deep enough for Erik, though.
We have, yeah, I mean, looks like just a little bit sketchy there. Oh, as well for Duke.
Yeah, it's the same situation. They're both going to move over, both going to get to this 1x2, 1 deep, and Duke needs a door, actually. So it's very awkward here. The 1 deep, you need to place a door down. He's got to pick it up. And we're on top of housing on Erik's screen.
Wow. Yeah, and just some sloppy stuff a little bit there from Doog. And unfortunately, Erik here able to just get into the Bastion immediately. I'm not exactly sure how much that was Doog's fault, but regardless, it's time loss nonetheless, as Erik now picks up some obsidian and is beginning this housing route here. Meanwhile, Doog as well, picking up the obsidian just maybe 15 seconds behind.
Yeah. And look at this. Nerdy opting to save time. This is a very, very interesting play from Doog. He's opting, didn't loot the top left triple at all. No access to any of the chests, has no idea what's in there. Erik did. And now look at the pace they're mining gold. It's the same. Yeah. Doog saves all that time, the 15, 20 seconds. It's so slow looting that triple, but Doog doesn't have the loot from those chests. It could matter.
Do you agree with that decision, Feinberg?
It's so weird. Like, at the end of the day, it's just something that it's going to win you some seeds. It's going to lose you some seeds because obviously he's made up an immense amount of time and we haven't left the Bastion since we spawned in the nether. So it's just full raw time save, no mechanics, no anything went into it. It's just time save. unquestionably. But he's missing stuff from the chest. Granted, loot the first triple. You have 15 obsidian, you have a crossbow, you have arrows, you have some string. So the only thing that he's really going to be missing out on, you're going to get that 5 obsidian from the trades. You're really only going to be missing maybe an extra gold block for some late pearl trades, some late fire rest trades, maybe string for an extra bed. But you had 18 going down to the trades. It messes you up sometimes. But I think the odds are so small, and the time save on a seed like this is so big when you know that, like, the Bastion split's already there. You know you're already so behind, almost halfway through the seed. I think I like the play from Duke here. Fully skipping
speaking
it.
of which, looks like Doog is now out. And he's, despite the fact that he entered, 15 seconds later, his decision-making there, now having him, potentially 20 seconds ahead even, maybe. I don't even know. It looks like this is significant time save. Just all of those little decisions.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Erik.
I think just...
But a lot slower, and then there's not even a pirate out here yet. So, and we know it's backwards from Duke. We know he went backwards, mining out the back of the Bastion. So it's so much time saving. It is right here. Erik finally finds it, but they're just so far behind compared to Duke at the spawner already.
And we see here Doogile now using the iron axe as well as the iron sword here just to save, a little bit of time with each of those blaze kills, as Erik is now approaching the spawner here, not getting those strays, I don't believe. So several blazes ahead here for Doogile, as Erik is crafting placing the blaze bed there. And, on 3 hearts here, not eating any salmon yet, just a little bit scary to me, but there we go. Choosing to finally eat the salmon and hopefully get some health here once maybe the saturation goes down further. So, meanwhile, we have Doogile killing all of the blazes here, getting, I'm not sure exactly how many rods he's on quite yet, but definitely good pace here. Good lead, solid lead for Doogile, but, Erik is close behind.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of room still for Erik to make up that time if it's a hard 0, if the terrain is weird, but obviously we're going to be getting the same stronghold blinding in basically the same spot here. Maybe Doog would have to throw 2 eyes and Erik doesn't. That's a little bit of time save you can generate again, but Doog's a rod ahead and blinding already. Yep. Potentially even a full spawner cycle ahead at this point due to just how fast he was in the fort. And it's one eye throw, 700.
Erik, despite getting another spawn cycle, does not get any more rods there. So,
yeah, wow.
As you mentioned, a full spawn cycle ahead essentially here, at least.
Yep.
Looks like he can.
Yeah.
As he wins the seed in a sub-9.
That's okay. And we're back. Ruins now. Yeah, sorry about that. Internet things just happen sometimes. Good recovery, though, from the broadcast side. Good recovery. Dude, it's going to be so funny to look at. I have the multi-twitch open. Duke has 1,000 viewers. Erik has 600. Everyone migrating over to the,
That's crazy. That's
to the
crazy.
other streams. That's good. But we're back. Yeah, no, again, okay, that match will count. The runners had no idea that the internet cut at all, right? So there's just no reason for us to run it back. Just no point. So yeah, it's 1-0. Doog. Unlucky, I guess.
I mean, exciting stuff. If we were watching, I guess is how I describe that match,
Yeah, I mean, like we said though before it crashed, Doog was just ahead by a lot into the fort, and I guess was just able to keep that time save.
It was like just, especially navving to the stronghold was the big time save there that I saw. Looks like saving over a minute in that split. Maybe that's the blazes. Maybe that's the. It's hard to say exactly, where that came from because it was a little bit hard for us to watch, but it does seem like. Just navving to the stronghold, Doog just found better terrain.
Yeah. We need to get the stream back so we can watch without delay, but I imagine Oliver's setting up a lot, so that's okay. And then we'll get into our pick and then seed 2 in just a bit. Internet things just happen sometimes. So let's all do a group. Let's all do a collective group pats in the chat.
True.
Your favorite pat emoji for internet, please. A group
Fantastic
tots.
suggestion.
Thank you. No, I
We're
remember
back.
at my old apartment, it was just unexplainable internet issues that would happen like once every couple weeks. It was just like my packet loss would go to 70%. I would drop like 2/3 of all this frames when I would stream. I remember I just fully tanked it once. It was the craziest stream I'd ever done. I just fully tanked the lag. By the time I was done being live for like 3 hours, there was 10 minutes of stream delay. Like that, like, and it's just like nothing I could do helped at all. Like they sent a technician out. I called them like 10 different times. It was just never a problem that was fixed. And like sometimes, like
wild.
if you live in an apartment, like you don't have access to like the core like modem or whatever. It's just sometimes so rough. And it just happens. But Duke 1 seed 1. Let's start over to our seed picks for seed 2. See what Erik wants to play. I mean, if there's any good news, it's not like the runners had any idea, right? So they're not going to be really flustered at all with the information. They were still playing.
Yeah, no,
It's good
that is definitely true.
Maybe like if Oliver was hosting the private room and then the private room cut out, that would have been silly. But we're back to Shipwreck Nerdy. Another Ocean Overworld. And Erik was very ahead on the first on this Overworld in seed 1, right? Like Erik did just enter 15, 20 seconds, maybe even 25 faster. Because not only did they go the right way to the ravine ASAP, but they didn't mess up their portal nearly as hard as Duke did. Like the recovery after the first dig having no lava was way better due to just maybe picking up that third door, doing a different variation on a 1 deep 1x2. It's hard to exactly say, but we'll see if Erik can keep their lead. Overworld prowess.
Regardless, going to a shipwreck here, I mean, fairly similar, you know, to the BT. You usually are going to be doing similar type of things, but at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, I'm curious if we'll see any advantages given to Erik here. It felt like in that last seed, maybe it was just like slight decisions in placement of the TNT and whatnot. So let's see as we have 5 seconds left going into this shipwreck seed. Let's see what these runners are offered here as we immediately see the... Oh, no, that's not the shipwreck. That's just terrain. I'm crazy. I'm going crazy here.
There's the shipwreck.
Like just looking. There it is. Yeah.
And a big stark difference from last seed. Erik, 10 seconds behind already. And we're 15 seconds into the seed.
And now I'm going to see, so 11 iron. And wow, look at that. 47 wheat is fantastic. You get 15 bread out of that and 6 carrots. I mean, that is a phenomenal shipwreck, if you ask me. The runner's now going back towards the island for the wood. And, I mean, that's a very good shipwreck overall.
100%. And we're going to be looking at some shears, looking at a stone axe. There are 2 trees. One of them short. Should be enough wood. Maybe not comfortably for things like ground zero and potentially harder setups, but enough wood to get you off the island at least.
Yep.
Some shears, some stone axe. Classic.
We do get that diamond shovel, which is very nice. You know, doesn't save too much time, but it just looks nice, you know?
Erik, did you know it actually doesn't save any time?
No, I know. Yeah.
Mining gravel saves 0 time. Mining certain other blocks, there is a breakpoint. I don't know. I mean, the only other block you're really mining is soul sand, right? And soul soil. I don't actually know if it's a tick faster for those blocks or not. But
it just looks cleaner. It just looks better. That's what
for those of you in chat who did not know, diamond shovel is not faster than an iron shovel when mining gravel. Enderman, overworld Doogile, he's not going to kill it. Wow, that's so weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we saw that on Erik's screen at all, so definitely that could have been an interesting play, but choosing not to go for it the way that Mongi chose, unlike Mongi choosing to go for the Enderman, I mean, I think it's probably fine. I mean, if you don't...
Mongi went for an Enderman? That was what the monster hunter was? Oh my god.
Yes.
Did he get a pearl?
Oh yeah, of course, you didn't see that. No, that's what I was going to say, is he didn't get a pearl, and it actually was like a pretty big time loss, so I feel like Duke just, you know, maybe learning from that mistake potentially. And now just looking for the ravine here. Both runners
just like had no idea that happened. Like
yeah, I don't know. I didn't process that you wouldn't have realized that, but until just now. But anyways, we have these runners going for
I mean, neither runner found the ravine. They're both in like the exact same spot in the ocean though, right? And the ravine does generate centered on the shipwreck is where it starts to check for all the ravines. So both these runners figure it out eventually, but Dougal's 10-second time save from the start of this overworld is gone.
Yeah, and I guess that's just a little bit quicker finding that ship right there as both runners here now building the portal. I will say, Erik, you know, having to deal with the 1 deep, that is definitely suboptimal. Meanwhile, Doogile luckily getting a 2 deep or more. Now just grinding the gravel. Both runners getting into the nether here at fairly similar paces.
There's some really interesting micro too. I don't really know why Doog chose a different spot because they obviously dove down in the same space. But Doog specifically chose a 3x1, which is annoying because you're going to have to fix that third magma that's on the wall. But it was 2 deep, and Erik's L that he chose was 1 deep. So I don't really know if that's just sort of brain RNG, but save Doogile some time getting to the chalice. And when the fort's right here, Nerdy, that might be a lot of time in a seed like this.
And as you can see here, we have a, I believe that is a right side good triple.
Good gap. So, we could call it that. I mean, I know if you say that, I know what you mean.
Listen, it's I'm a little tired sometimes, but looks like we have just Donkey Kong route here coming out from.
Oh, he's doing Jason pivot. No. Wow.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. And I will say, Duke did tell me that he loves this.
It's a great call. He's going to get a lot of pigs from both the triples. Erik, what's the route here? DK.
Yeah,
so we might see a lot of time save from Duke doing just an objectively better route. More pigs, similar trade start.
And it is a riskier route, but as you can see, it is just a little bit faster. And
there's a Hoglin just chilling right there. If you guys, when he goes back down, you'll see it. He's just on the bridge right there.
I saw him. I mean, hey.
Shout out Hoglin, as you say, you know, as they say.
Good guy. I'm a big fan of that Hoglin. As now Doogile gets an iron axe here, and we see Erik just trying to get a few more pigs, hopefully, into his DK route. But this should be, again, just a little bit faster here with that.
I mean, he needs 3 more obsidian. It's a little whack. Maybe if Erik's got some more obby from those triples, Duke has to just wait. He gets 21, and now he's gone. Hoglin, little love tap there as he's building up.
And we saw the fortress at the beginning of this, so we don't need to pyrite or anything like that. We just know it's in the direction of this triple, or this chalice, excuse me. Wow, fantastic pearl there from Duke, just right on to the fortress.
It's going to aggressively pearl towards some spawners as well. Not only do we have 12 bread, we have 6 golden carrots in the reserves as well. So the food situation, great. And Erik's still in the bastion. This Jason pivot is just showing its prowess as a route here. I think this is a pearl hang from Erik. I don't even think she's leaving. No, gone. But, barely misses the bridge there. And once again, I mean, in the seed nerdy, Duke just 30, 40 seconds out of the spawner.
And, oh man, that scared me a little bit. I thought of a little bit of a pause there. I was worried that we went
into
another...
just think like, oh no, it's lagging again. Oh my goodness.
But regardless, here we are. We have Doogile just killing some blazes on, I believe, 3 rods. Yep, 3 rods here for Doogile. Now checking in on Erik on just 1 rod. So just, you know, a little bit behind again. Very similar to last
It's going to be like a cycle, maybe even 2, right? Just depending on Duke felt like he got to the spawner faster as well.
I mean, this just goes to show, like, all these little things, I think, including, I mean, I guess the bigger macro things like choosing to go with that Jason route, but, you know, all these little time saves that Duke might have with inventory management, with movement, all those kinds of things just make it so hard to keep up with him in these types of fast linear seeds.
The only thing I will say that I will did notice off the miscraft is not only did he just misplace an obby and now only has 10, but Duke only has 5 explosives. We have 38 wool and only 12 wood from that island. Can we get the measure off through the fancy? He's gonna go for it here. He's
some scary stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think you have to.
No, he doesn't
another,
like
right?
it. He doesn't like it.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't like it. Tried through the fancy leaves. I couldn't tell it all. It doesn't like it. It's the safe play here. And the second eye's not going to break. I mean, it gets scary if you potentially have to throw 3, but only has to throw 2.
But
fancy leaves not clutching.
Needs 1 more rod, I believe, and then can leave. Looks like that is, what is that, a 1K?
I don't know if he got any wood. He did get wood. Okay, I figured, but I looked at Erik's screen for just a second. So Duke does pick up some wood. That's an amazing overlap as well. Pearls goes back to craft the beds while the pearls being thrown. Fantastic. Beautiful micro. Erik also having to grab wood here, but again, they're just 30, 40 seconds behind. Duke heading to cords. 1 more pearl away. So much food as well. Still 4 golden carrots among all the bread that we have.
And now digging down on cords, it looks like for Doog. just several, maybe even, 30 seconds ahead, maybe even a full minute. I mean, just fantastic play from Duke. I don't even necessarily know if Erik's done too much wrong.
Yeah,
But
and I mean,
regardless,
if you're a
is now
Duke fan
in.
as well, there's a little bit more to root for. Not only are we in the stronghold first, I think we have 9 or 10 explosives and iron bars crafted. So Zero Cycle going to come out and ground Zero as a very nice backup. Duke's confused though. Got a spike, but not when his FOV was lowered. It's just here though. Little weird.
Right there.
Chunk culling can just do that, but he fights through the spike. Getting to the
Now
portal room.
crafting
Almost
everything
crafted
ready.
7 carpets.
That would have been a little bit bad, but here we are. We're
I
into
mean,
the end here.
You do get 7 extra blocks to build up. 14 blocks, 21 carpets. That maybe it's a strat.
First 2 pearls look good on this front dragon here. Building up. Let's see what we got. First bed. Getting the bed ready.
I mean, there's just so
Looks
many
solid there.
explosives, like with a bow as
Could
well.
be a
This could be a
relatively
3
easy-
rotation.
Wow, yeah. Getting the
Yeah,
second
no
double.
room
Wow.
for Erik to come back.
That was just clean play by Duke. I don't know. I mean, it just goes to show how difficult it is to go against one of the best players in the world. I mean, I think, Erik didn't play bad. I didn't see any like huge mistakes or anything like that. It's just Doogile taking risks, like going for the Jason, just playing consistently, all clean crafting, clean movement, clean overlaps throughout, and just that makes it impossible to keep up sometimes, as it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to look at the splits here, exactly what this fort time was. And yeah, I mean, if you look at this, Erik saves time in every split post fort, but it's 30 seconds on the Bastion route decision and Jason pivot on open terrain, double, triple. It's a beautiful decision. And in a seed like this, where you're waiting for trades for a little bit, he saved so much time in this Bastion, and that's the whole seed. It's just the entire seed in the splits. Erik tried their best to claw back the time loss, but it just couldn't happen.
And yeah, I mean, very well played to Erik. I mean, this is not slow pace or anything like that. It's just Duke just on his game right now, just absolutely on his game. And this is gonna be tough for Erik. Down 2 seeds here, but it is still possible here for Erik to come back. We never want to count out the possibility of a reverse sweep. We've seen it before, and despite it looking grim for Erik, it is still possible.
That is correct. It is very much still possible. And unfortunately, due to the stream crash, we are not going to have a Fulham analysis segment for Seed 3 or before Seed 3. I'm sorry. It's unlucky. Fulham himself made the call. Just wasn't enough to clip, I guess. I don't know. It's okay. It's just internet. It's life. It's okay.
It is
But
what it
nerdy,
is.
all that means is we have to get to another game 5 to
Yes.
get the Fulham segment we deserve. We have to get to another game 5. And what is the seed 3? I think it's Room Portal. We could throw it over to the seed picks already. I mean,
Sounds
maybe
right
the
to me.
runners are gonna enjoy this, right? Not having to get iced for 5 to 10 minutes. I know it's always a stressful time, but just gonna get right into the gameplay. And like I said, Room Portal seed.
And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Going against Duke on a Rune Portal, I'm a little scared. This is not necessarily the kind of seed that we want to see if you're going against someone like Duke. I will say, I mean, as a viewer though, I'm excited because we've seen some fast seeds today, and Rune Portals obviously do seem to be generally the fastest. I don't think the 630 was a Rune Portal; it was a BT, right? But in either case, very fast Minecraft gameplay. I think Duke has a sub 10 average on Rune Portals from what we were looking at earlier. So this is a very exciting seed that we have upcoming.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of variance in these overworlds, right? Like not necessarily finding the ravine easily for both players on both seeds, but Room Portal, your enters are going to be right there. There's a lot of variance in the actual quality of the Room Portal, whether that be, enough iron for a pickaxe. Do we have to complete with a bucket? Is there going to be food? Like, are we in a jungle? Are we in a snow? Are we in a plains? Are we in a desert? Could be anything.
Yep.
We'll have to get into the seed and see, and I'm ready to get into the seed.
Me as well.
Can Erik continue the trend today of game 5s?
True.
Can they
true.
win seeds 3 and 4, or is Duke going to take a quick 3-0 victory and move on to the top 4 tomorrow?
And let's see here. immediately getting the axe and just setting the portal, but not going in quite yet. Instead, choosing to go for some food here for both runners there. You can see 3 pork chocks here for Doog, and we've got 4 there for, no, 5 now for Erik.
Yep.
Both runners just
Dude's
making
gonna
sure to
kill
get enough
one
stuff.
extra pig, only 1 extra pork chop from that last pig. And it's annoying here that we don't have enough iron. Not going to be crafting shears I'm expecting from either runner. Even though the Bastion does guarantee 3 iron, if it's a stables or anything where, you know, a bridge, you're approaching from 1 triple and there's only 1 iron, a few nuggets. You know, you only need 4 nuggets to get that pickaxe done. And that could be a lot of time differential. Dude gets the craft. Erik just a little ahead on this overworld. Has been a little ahead on almost every overworld.
But at the end of the day, Duke's been making a lot of the time up in the nether here. So let's see here. Maybe just navving, you know, just little things like just movement decisions, you know, all his practice bridging and all of that. Yeah. Like it's not necessarily that he's bridging all the time, but it gives him a good sense of how to move and how to navigate. And you can see, I feel like he's already made up a little bit of time on Erik there just by, you know, navving and making slightly different decisions in this Bastion.
Yeah.
Now mining up here, gonna try and
watch out on Erik's screen. 3 hearts.
Erik.
No distraction blocks or gold, but it's okay.
Nothing.
Saved. Down on this triple, but the health.
Oh, this is not looking
has to
good.
take some time.
Like
need a pork chop. They're
doesn't know
staying
exactly how
alive
to deal
here.
with this. They're gonna distract those guys, but now can't mine. Use the axe to mine. Oh no.
Oh, true. Has to pickaxe these guys. Has no more distraction as well.
This is not great.
Oh, save no sword guys, but any crossbow shot fully blocks. Must eat a pork chop here. Surely we're eating a pork chop here. Surely we're eating a pork chop here.
Yeah, I feel like you just have to.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
I am terrified as well. I mean, that seemed unnecessary.
Any shot like these piglins, they can just go crazy mode and just one shot as they're falling. But no, saved. And Duke in a similar situation. The only thing I will note as well, Erik, I don't think grabbed the 4 triple blocks, looted this in a different way. Maybe even thought this was housing. You know, I'm not sure. But it's very possible. I mean, until Duke started digging in the side, I honestly thought it was housing too. So, I mean, maybe that's just me speaking, but could have thought it was housing. The way that, you know, they punched the piglins, started running down, didn't maybe know it was middle triple.
Yeah.
So there's 4 gold blocks that Doogile is up right now on trades. Erik's only going to have a max of 12. I don't know exactly how many failed to generate.
Right. And, you know, I will say, despite that mistake, I mean,
32 obby,
okay.
So much fire res. The only thing that's a little awkward here is potentially string.
And also,
Duke's got 74.
Also some food differential here between the two. I mean, I feel like...
Is Erik leaving or is this a pearl hang play? It's a pearl hang play. No, leaving.
No,
wow.
leaving,
How much string do we have? I thought we only had 20.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't catch that, I guess.
And look at the terrain differences here. Erik down a ravine, boating through another ravine. Duke at the fort, though.
I don't know.
This terrain has to open up for Erik, otherwise the playoffs run might be over already. Where is the fort? There it is. Spotted. And this could be even better for Erik, potentially, if the spawner is closer, right? Duke's not at the spawner. It doesn't matter if you're in the fort, if you're in the bad part for 3 minutes. And there's the spawner. Erik back ahead.
I mean, I feel like Duke isn't necessarily even... That wasn't even necessarily a mistake from Duke. I feel like Duke did handle this pretty well. But Erik doing a good job in, you know, doing what he can in order to get back here. And Duke just instantly getting the blaze bed off, though, faster. Now I feel like you could argue Duke's back in the lead.
Yeah, if this spawn cycle is bad for Erik. And the only other thing, I really don't know how much string I'm waiting, just watching Erik's inventory. I feel like they left the Bastion so fast. And again, without 4 extra gold blocks. No, there's 17 wool pre-crafted. So, gonna have explosives there as well. But nowadays, different spawners. That could mean different strongholds. That could mean different terrain.
Absolutely. 3 rods here for Erik. And only 2 now for Duke as he kills some more blazes.
Oh, gets that rod barely off the edge of the fort. Good pickup.
Some pre-crafts here coming out.
Yeah, and Duke's at 4 though, and they're both waiting on spawn, so different blocks potentially cleared out, right? Erik's at a terrain spawner. That right wall's not fully cleared. Duke at an open spawner. Can be getting the max spawns almost every time. So there's 1 blaze of desync here, which could matter as well.
Absolutely. Building the portal here. for Erik while Doog is measuring his first eye. It looks like that is 1655, I believe, is what the number says there. So, you know, pretty far, but of course, traveling in the nether shouldn't be too bad.
It's a
Meanwhile,
neg pause
Erik out in the
stronghold for Doog, and it's kind of far. This could be different. Waiting to see a Ninbot potentially on Erik's screen.
I'm looking.
Pause neg! Pause neg! It's a different stronghold!
Okay. I think
And
this
it's
is very
800
good for
for
Erik.
Erik. 1600 for Doog. Doog looking at a Pearl Hang potentially. No, just leaving. Has the rods.
You know, I
Erik
will say
curling
this
up.
is exactly the kind of thing that I
Yeah.
feel like if you're worried
Low
about, you know,
food for
losing
Erik,
time,
though.
this is a great opportunity if you just get a better stronghold, you know?
But Doog's so fast here already. I don't
So
know how
fast.
much longer we have to go. One more pork
Yeah.
chop as well. Erik out of food. Gets a Pearl Hang off, but still needs blazes at this spawner. So the spawner first ends up not mattering.
Man, yeah.
Whether that just be because, you know, different spawner, different cycle. I mean, there's a Hoglin here. Scared by the nether portal. Oh, 3 hearts.
Doog on 1.5. I mean, definitely a little bit controlled, of course, but
Yeah, holding
still
pork chop
scaring
in
me a
inventory.
little bit here with Doog. I do like Doog's position overall, but, you know, Erik
It's a different
now...
stronghold, Nerdy, again, at the end of the day. Is it too different of a stronghold? No.
No, okay.
Above
He
starter.
scared me there for a second. But looks like Doog now trying to find the spike.
That's a big spike, though. He doesn't like it. I know that's a big spike. Cave spider area as well. He likes that spike in the top right, I'd like to say. Just looking at the numbers.
He doesn't seem
There was a
confident
big
here.
cave spider spike. I like that to the right. Let's send that. Let's send that. That's the spike. Fights through the bad spike as well.
Let's see here.
Is it
Fiverr
this
is
light
right
source?
here.
No, maybe. The
Actually
5-way.
rescanning.
Erik,
Looking to see if
different
he can find it.
stronghold,
He
but
found
Duke's
it.
found the PR. Erik
You were
gets
right.
a good spike as well, but the end is going to be the same. Once one person's in first, if they can zero, it's just over. And Duke is that person.
Let's see what he can do here. Enters the end. He is engaged
Erik's
here.
dead. Get a stronghold.
Erik's
It
dead.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Creeper,
And
staircase, spawner, skeleton. It's too much to handle.
has to, I guess, full reset the seed. Brutal stuff.
I mean, Duke doesn't know, so he's going to push 95 here. Has to go 1 block off for the offset, but was going to be in the end first. Anyways, has enough explosives.
Should be able to close out this seed.
A clean
As
3 cycle as
another
well.
amazing
Yeah.
3 cycle. I mean, definitely a mistake there by Erik, but Duke just playing, you know, lights out today. I mean,
Yeah.
almost no mistakes, super fast, super clean gameplay from Duke. And, you know, honestly, if I'm a ranked player in the playoffs right now and I see that, I'm quite scared. You know, that is one of the cleanest 3-0s we've seen. And like I said, Erik did not play bad. I mean, the mistake at the end, sure, but throughout that series, keeping up, but just Doog able to just consistently gain time in the nether, or lose time, I guess. Gain time, it's confusing with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
Consistently-
small little micro, and Duke taking advantage, saving time in every bastion. Like from the bastion of the fort, saving time on that split every seed. Whether it be just, you know, better pyre, a better route, better terrain to the fort. We literally saw it all. Seed 1, better pyre and overlap. Seed 2, better route. Seed 3, better terrain. Just every little micro from the bastion of the fort, fully locked in. And when you're the 1 seed, when you have the best average out of all the playoffs players, and you're playing that well, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. It just is potentially unwinnable. Doesn't matter if it's Erik. Doesn't matter if it's Loki. Doesn't matter if it's Crooks playing against Duke in this situation. It might just be lights out gameplay and a 3-0 regardless. And that's what we saw today.
Absolutely fantastic gameplay. And I don't know. I mean, Duke just playing super well. But chat, I will say, despite the fact that, you know, Duke, obviously a terrifying opponent, we have potentially someone that might be even seen as more terrifying up next with Loki versus Beef Salad. We have our returning 2 times winner. So be sure to stay tuned as the Minecraft gameplay only gets better.
Yeah, we actually do have time. This is the first series that hasn't been over schedule. We're going to bring Duke in for an interview in just a second. When we get all that sorted. And then, yes, like you said, Loki versus Beef Salad. Loki looking to potentially win his 3rd ever playoffs. But we'll see. We got Doog ready for us in the waiting room. Let's bring him in. Good morning. Hello,
Congrats,
Doog.
Doog.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on the 3-0. I mean,
Okay.
what are your initial thoughts on the series? What do you think?
I felt really good about that actually. I thought I was playing really well. Like I only made a few mistakes over the whole time. So yeah, I felt really good about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you played super well. I feel like there's so much. It's almost like there's so few mistakes that I don't even know what to point out. I guess I did want to ask about the Jason route because I know you talked to me about this when we were doing like the studying stuff for the commentary. So what was like because I think you're one of the first Jason routes we've seen in this playoff. So walk us through that decision to go for that in the I believe 2nd seed.
Yeah. So as of recently, if it's exposed bridge and there's a right triple, I just always do Jason route no matter what. The only situation where I'm not doing Jason route is if it's buried and the left side is a triple, then I do DK. Everything
go.
else, or if it's exposed and it's like left triple, right single, everything else I'll do Jason.
Yeah, and I mean the pivot too as well, like the sort of half DK build to grab those pigs from the other triple. I mean, it saved you 30, maybe even 40 seconds in the Bastion. I mean, every seed, that was the thing that we noticed is just your Bastion play perfect. I mean, the only other thing I'd like to remember from the 1st seed, you fully didn't check the left housing triple. What was the thought behind that?
Well, we got like 15 obby from the double chest, so I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna need the other side. Because like
Was there
obby is really the main thing you need from.
Was there any thought
double chest.
into the fact that you were like behind not checking that? Like, do you think you would have one over there if you were ahead, or it just like
I think even
regardless
if I
of
was
the
ahead, I would
situation?
skip it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it showed too as well. Like watching that match, Erik. I mean, I think 15 seconds ahead on the Nether Enter due to like the door and the 2x1, just a like weird situation. And you saved all that time. Like as you were mining the backup gold, it was just already even. Just because Erik looted that left triple and you didn't. That was all the time save right there. And I mean, yeah, like you said, the obby's there. So unlikely that it rolls you. And like you need a gold block from that left triple is really the only thing, but it's just so unlikely. And just the micro in the whole series was almost perfect. Like every split, basically just gaining a little bit of time. Erik by no means played bad, but you played almost perfect after only 1 day of playing on the ladder yesterday. That was good enough warm up, I guess.
Yeah. I've also been doing a lot of like private rooms and casual. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we saw
Yeah,
you had.
I
We
think
also
you have
saw you
like
had an
60.
86% win rate or something yesterday.
Yeah,
That was
I think you
crazy.
have like
Yeah, I had a
60
pretty
games on
crazy day
casual.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have more
86% win
casual
rate
games
yesterday.
than like actual ranked games right now. But I will be
And they're like
playing
all
more
against
ranked.
silver, right? Like you and silver just farming casual the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
pretty much. I also
Yeah.
do a lot of like private rooms just with my alt, just for practice.
Yeah, so keeping the practice up and the fact that it's not on the ladder didn't end up mattering. You're playing Manji tomorrow, looking to potentially win back-to-back playoffs. You'd be the first person to do so. Some exciting stuff.
Are you any words for Mongi?
It's gonna be a beautiful match tomorrow.
There we
That's
go.
for sure.
There we go. I agree with that for what it's worth. I agree.
I mean, that's what we wanted to hear. If there's anything we wanted to hear, those beautiful words. Dude, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Some great Minecraft today. We'll see if you can keep it up. Maybe there's another gold trophy waiting for you at the end of the day. But thanks for playing. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know how to like end these ever. It's so weird. Like I
Oh,
I need
we'll
to
get
like
used to them. We'll get used to them.
I need to like
We will.
watch other esports things and like just skip to all the interviews at the end. And it's like, how do they end it off? It feels so awkward now, but also like I think the problem is when they're doing interviews in person, like after a game, like they're holding the mic in front of the other person, they can be like, all right, we're gonna send you back to the desk. And then they send you back to the desk and there's a different person on the desk. But it's the same people on the desk. Maybe we just have to lean into that and we'll just be like, we'll send it back to the desk. And then we're like, hey, welcome back to the desk.
Welcome back. We're here. We're here once again. Yeah.
And even though we're still the desk,
that.
maybe we have to just do that.
I like
and
that
just
idea
embrace the silliness. But I think that's probably why it's not awkward at all, is they can just do the cue to send it. And then it doesn't matter if they're just standing there doing nothing because they don't have to do anything Yeah.
I know. I see the line. I see the line. We are the desk, you know. So I'm down for that.
Yeah. And we're back. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we're ahead on schedule for the first time all day, thanks to that 3-0 from Duke. Not only the 3-0, but fast seeds on all three of them as well. Like 9 flat, sub 9, sub 9. Just great gameplay. And let's start over to the bracket before we get into a quick intermission before our last game of the day. Low Key versus Beef Salad. Wow.
I mean,
That's all I can
this
say.
is an exciting match for sure. I mean, we'll get more into it after the intermission, but I mean, I think, you know, Beef Salad is a grinder. Definitely a good, very solid, potentially very underrated ranked player, and we've seen him get third place before, so absolutely not someone to underrate, in my opinion. But then going against, I mean, low-key, returning 2 times winner, I mean, just arguably one of the best players, has like a 941 average this season, so, I mean, one of the scariest opponents that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the fastest time on the ranked ladder as well, 620. Doesn't have the fastest time in playoffs. I don't know who had it before Hacks, but Hacks with the 635 today, obviously, as well saw incredible stuff. But Loki's got potentially 5 seeds to beat that record. And I mean, or Beef Salad as well, right? Beef Salad coming from round 2 yesterday, or last week, I should say. I don't know. I'm just out of words. You said everything that needed to be said. And I'm just ready to see a great match after our intermission. I don't know.
Let's do
Was
this.
it not 635? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just my fault. Numbers are hard. I guess it was a 642 today. Maybe it's a number I read somewhere else. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes
That's
sense.
okay. Sorry, I'm in my head. I'm thinking of Feinberg 635 end enter November 2022. Just in my head.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean,
the thoughts, they're spinning. Never forget. That's all. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go to an intermission. It's okay. And we'll be back with low-key beef salad.